If you are a fan of the English Premier League, you have probably noticed that there is a gazillion of London derbies taking place every other week. Ever wonder why? What? There's nothing to wonder really. There's simply a gazillion football clubs in London participating in the English top flight. So while I was spending some time in this beautiful city, I decided to visit all of the 7 stadiums of the 7 football clubs playing in the EPL, except for Chelsea's Stamford Bridge. You can check it out in another London video of mine. But let's find out among the other 6, which stadium is the best, which one is the most whacked. I checked in at the Craven Cottage on a Sunday morning pre-season. Unfortunately, all the gates were closed, or to be fair, I just didn't book a tour ticket, but rather wander around, so I don't have many photos here. I still think it looks nice though. Location-wise, the stadium lies in a pretty luxurious quarter of London and faces the River Thames. My manager is a season member of Fulham FC and he asked me if I wanted to watch a game, he could give me a spare ticket, but I had another day. I do regret it now, could have enjoyed the stadium much better that way. Another stadium situated in the west of London, Gtech Community Stadium of Brentford FC. On the way to the stadium, I noticed a long wave of people walking out. I thought to myself, are Brentford playing today? Apparently yes, they were hosting a pre-season game with Leah from France. I wanted to go further inside, but given people walking out and security guards everywhere, I thought that's it then. But turns out it's perfect timing for me to see the footballers in flesh and bones.
He's smiling, he's smiling. Oh my God. I'll see you next week at Emirates.
Going up north, let's visit the Emirates of Arsenal FC. You can buy the tour ticket from Arsenal website, it's self-guided, and you can visit the stadium anytime within 3 months of your purchase. I came to the Emirates at around 9:50 AM, but the club store is only open from 10 AM, so I had to wait for a little bit. The so-called Armory Square outside of the club store is engraved with the names and messages from thousands of Gooners surrounding the 11 Legends benches. The stadium tour starts at the club store. You will then be given a headset with whatever you call this guiding machine, telling you stories about the place you're at. The seating design at Emirates is quite subtle with all the details relevant to the club, such as the clock and the gun. One benefit of visiting the stadium early in the morning is that no one's here, so you can take some good photos without having some random heads floating around. If you think that working in the sports industry is always about being out there, well, maybe rethink, because depending on your job, it can also be this type of office work. Next to this media room is the press conference room, although unfortunately when I visited the Emirates that day, the press room was closed for refurbishment works. My general opinion on the Emirates is that it's a pretty nice stadium, given that the entire stadium project was completed in 2006. That was 17 years ago by the time I visited the stadium, and it still looked pretty amazing. I also think the best thing about this is that Arsenal FC has a relatively long history of tradition, so the club museum is actually the selling point. Although I'm not a fan of Arsenal, I found it intriguing to visit the museum and learn about what the club has been through. By the way, you would get a free certificate for having visited the Emirates by the end of your stadium tour. I would have been thrilled about this if I were 4, but unfortunately adult's life hit hard and I don't keep that piece of paper with me anymore. Similar to the Emirates Stadium tour, the Spurs Stadium tour is also self-guided and begins at the club store. Although before we begin, I would like to note that this video was filmed back in August 2023 and I would not apologize for wearing a Bayern jersey that day. I intentionally manifested the Kane deal to Bayern lots, at least I didn't bring an Arsenal merch there. All the Spurs employees were friendly and chill about it. I remember the guy at the front door was like, "Oh, I'm not sure whether or not to let you in as you are wearing a Bayern jersey. Give me one bill and we can negotiate." Oh, here we are. I remember the guide at first saying, "We will first visit the cup exhibition room." I know it doesn't sound like us, but we do have one. And they do. If you follow the news, you probably already know that the Spurs Stadium is the most modernized one among the Prem Big Six stadiums, simply because the renovation was completed in 2019, and I must say, yes, all the facilities within the stadium is actually very nice and new. Don't quote me on this, but I remember hearing that Klopp say Spurs away changing room is the best away changing room because it's fully equipped and doesn't give off some ominous tunnel type of changing room to play around with the away team's mentality. TMI, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is the first and only stadium to be designed specially for the NFL games outside of North America and is officially the home of the NFL in the UK. For that reason, the Spurs pitch is also higher, or thicker, I can't English, than usual, as the NFL playing surface is lying underneath. The NFL locker room is also much more spacious and has a much higher ceiling than the European football locker room, quote-unquote, because the American footballers or rugby players are much bigger. Clearly, this press conference room is where the journalist and the representative player and the coach will be gathering for a pre- or post-match conference. They do offer taking photos for some bucks, but you can also ask them to take a photo with your own device, although they would not be as happy, and I end up looking semi-pissed off in my photo because I wasn't prepared and they just shoot it. From the Spurs club store entrance, you may also consider spending some time at the Woof Gallery, which is a visual art gallery by Woof magazine for art and football. It has nothing to do with Spurs, but it is just conveniently located there. If you fancy something cheap to eat close by, maybe give Mother Hubbard's Tottenham a try. The shop is literally right across the stadium and offers some cozy setup with Spurs ornaments everywhere. All the stadiums that we have been through so far are located pretty much in the city centre, and Selhurst Park Stadium of Crystal Palace Football Club is not an exception. Crystal Palace is the only club representing South London in the English top flight, and to be very honest, had it not been for the purpose of visiting all the EPL stadiums in London, I would probably not go here because personally I don't see many things to do in South London. The stadium is also relatively small. Once again, I was only strolling around the stadium, so maybe next time if I ever get to visit London again, I will try to attend a match in each of these stadiums. Lastly, we'll get to see the London Stadium, the home ground of West Ham United FC. I don't know about you, but personally, I first thought that football stadiums would be located a bit far away from the city centre because of the potential noise pollution and violence in some cases, but I was surprised that London Stadium is the only stadium that seems to be situated out of nowhere. But rest assured that it is super easy to travel around London, so you can always take the Express Elizabeth line to get to Stratford, the West End of London from the city centre, where you can find the home of West Ham FC. Coming up are some footage that I took when attending a Premier League match between West Ham and Man City at the London Stadium in September 2023. London Stadium is a multi-purpose stadium originally constructed to host the 2012 Summer Olympics in London, so you can tell how massive the stadium is.
Manchester City. Now we have a club legend in attendance today. A certain Italian maestro is back in East London. Make sure you're in your seats nice and early before kick-off to welcome this man back to West Ham United. All right. Lazuni, correct. Haaland, correct. Sinclair, correct. Matty Everton, correct. De Bruyne, correct. Alvarez, that's alright, I think you've equalised. Tony Coy, correct. David Silva, correct. Diaby is also correct. The judges are tallying up the scores. 11 versus 8. 11-10, closing the end. But Nathan, you are the winner. You have won a shirt signed by the real champions of Europe. Congratulations, Nathan. You can take that shirt back to Essex. Very well done. And now it's time, your chance even, to win a signed shirt. Let's find out who's won Guess the Season. Substitution of West Ham United, England, number 28, Thomas Suchek. 6, Nathan Aker. Thank you for your support this afternoon. Don't forget we begin our European adventure on Thursday against Vasha Topola of Serbia. Hope to see you all there. Safe journey home.
So yes, if you ask me which one is the best EPL stadium in London, I would say Spurs is clear, but not like I went inside all of the stadiums anyway, so definitely give it a try yourself if you have a chance. And until then, see you next time!